Welcome to The Know. I'm Brian.
And I'm Eric.
So, some big news today in entertainment that we should talk about. James Gunn is going to write and possibly direct Suicide Squad 2.
Yep, and this is a big move considering he was like one of the cornerstones of Marvel.
And now he's taking over the best DC property too.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, you know, for a long time people thought maybe he was going to come back,
right?
You know, for Guardians, you know, they were going to realize that that maybe, you know, a decades old, you know, offensive tweet might not be enough to kill
him,
kill one of their most successful franchises.
But he's out, and Disney, I believe, has confirmed he's not coming back. They are going to use the script though for Guardians 3.
That's
right?
the last that I heard. Yes, that was the plan, but they've taken it. I think they've taken it off of the schedule.
Okay. So it's still a little bit in limbo.
Because here's the thing: you have to remember, Guardians 3 was going to set up the entire next phase. Like it was going to whatever was going to happen. Yeah. Both Kevin Feige and James Gunn said that that what happens in Guardians 3 was going to be central to the next wave because they're going very cosmic, right? You have Captain Marvel coming up. You know,
we're going outer space with this shit.
Yeah, they're more embracing that stuff. So my guess is that Captain Marvel's now going to be more of the
linchpin or sort of the
that'd
focal
be my
point
guess. It's
going
totally
forward.
Slightly uneducated, you know, as my guesses usually are.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, but they're having to recalibrate all that. Right. But you know, there have been rumors that Marvel was upset at DC or Disney for making the choice, and that they've been trying to fight for Gunn. But I mean, obviously now he wouldn't have taken a job at DC if that was a possibility.
So this is Warner Brothers, which is over DC, now taking that opportunity to yank a very high profile Marvel director, pull him over.
And keep in mind, he wasn't just a hired gun, and pardon the pun. Sorry, with two ends, Gunn with two ends. He wasn't just a journeyman director, as they say, a guy who comes in and just directs what the studio wants. Like, he was part of the brain trust for Marvel.
For the whole arc of the cinematic universe, right?
And like he was heavily involved in Infinity War. It's like, all this stuff. So I think DC sees this as an opportunity for him to take a position like that within DC. Now, of course, this is all speculation. This literally just broke. We're not even sure if he's directing Suicide Squad 2 yet, but we know that the previous director, Gavin O'Connor, is the guy that did Warrior. What was the other one he did? He did something else recently that was really
the previous director, the person who was supposed to direct Suicide Squad 2?
Yes, it was Gavin O'Connor, and he's out. So it doesn't have a director now. James Gunn is apparently for sure writing.
Okay.
I mean, he's going to direct it. I mean, unless he gets in there and they're like super hands-on, I can almost guarantee you you'll see him do that.
This feels like from Warner Brothers' perspective, maybe now we can relaunch the DCEU?
Sure, but they're already kind of moving in that general direction. If you saw like the trailers for Shazam and Aquaman, they're much more in that Guardians mold, right? They're a little bit lighter, they're more humor filled. Right. They're definitely
everything isn't shot at night. And
for sure.
Dark.
There aren't any mothers named Martha in them. So I think that they're going for. It seems to me that's the direction they're going anyway. Wonder Woman was a little bit of a step in that direction too, and I just feel like that's kind of what they wanted to do. So I have to imagine the second that Disney shit-canned James Gunn, Warner's was the first people on the phone.
His phone rang. Like maybe walking out the door, he got a phone call.
You have to keep in mind, this isn't like, Kevin Spacey or Harvey Weinstein. He kind of got caught up in a similar fervor, but he never assaulted anybody. He just made some really gross jokes. So it's like, they don't view him as toxic as Disney, I guess, did.
What do you think he can do for these movies? Suicide Squad, not very well received. But it did make money.
Tons of money.
It'll be interesting to see what he could do in a sequel because there's lots of, I think there's interesting characters
Sure.
there. I think there's stuff to work with.
I think everybody agrees that Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is outstanding. I mean, and even Warner's knows that. Like they're had trouble getting a sequel to their $800 million plus movie off the ground, but they went ahead and greenlit a Margot Robbie-led Harley Quinn movie, which is going into production very soon, called Birds of Prey.
Yeah, she kind of made that role her own, whereas I feel like Jared Leto Joker seemed like bad Joker cosplay rather than like someone being a character.
It was a step too far for that one.
It's become a meme at this point.
I think what they're looking at is James Gunn has had the ability to take, a group of a-holes is what the Guardians were, right? And made them empathetic, emotional heroes. And did so with a lot of humor. I mean, there's a dance-off in Guardians, and it works.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's
forgot about that.
He's able to do that and still grounded in emotion. My bet is that's what he's going to bring to Suicide Squad 2.
And the other thing too, if I think about the similarities, Guardians of the Galaxy before these movies were not the best known Marvel characters.
For sure. Yeah.
And now
they were a deeper cut. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And now they completely are like, some of the pillars of the universe. Suicide Squad, it feels like there's maybe potential there if a movie works, if it's, fun and compelling.
I have a feeling like Suicide Squad could be a little bit like the Harry Potter series, and I know this is a weird connection, bear with me.
Okay.
In that the very first, the Chris Columbus Harry Potters were, the world was set up, the characters were cast well.
Right.
In comparison to where the series goes later, they're clearly lesser movies.
Right.
But I have a feeling like that they could be on that trajectory where there's, David Ayer, cast really well.
Yeah.
The movie isn't great, and it kind of especially loses it at the end.
Right.
But like I have a feeling like it could be a good foundation for Gunn, and the things that he has to play with are going to be there. In the story that broke the rap is the one that broke the story. Like it was funny, the rap, Deadline, IO9, they all got the story within minutes of each other. The rap beat them, but like everybody's claiming exclusive. It's really funny to watch film Twitter bicker online. But they said that like all the things that are in common, the comments they got from Warner Brothers is that James Gunn will be making this his own. Yeah. So it's not, I have to imagine they're going to call a mulligan. It'll be Suicide Squad 2. Yeah. It'll have the characters you remember, but
kind of a reboot almost.
It's going to be a soft reboot. Yeah, for sure. It'll be a sequel, but it'll be definitely changing tone, which I think they were going to do anyway.
I think the Harry Potter comparison, that does kind of make sense. It's not that the first one was bad, but it, compared to, it got better.
Sure.
And like even in a way, it almost makes me think of like the Rocky movies in the sense of like the last ones were not that great.
Yeah.
But then they come along years later with Creed and kind of reboot it, cast something, a new central character, but it's still in the Rocky universe. But
it's recognizable.
It's great. Yeah, and I think I don't know. To me, it's a little bit exciting to see like what he could do with it.
It's a big change for DC. It's a big move. It could be the thing that they're not going to catch up to Marvel, but it could be the thing that gets them the thing that they're wanting, because they have a hardcore fan base.
Yep.
They have movies that are successful, but there's still that missing mystery where everybody's embracing the Marvel movies, right?
Right.
Grandmas, kids, whatever.
Right.
It's like the DC movies, while they're popular and they're making money, they don't have the same cultural impact in a weird way. Maybe it's just because they've been so culturally prominent for 70 years.
But
and some of these, like you mentioned, Guardians, is new and fresh.
Now Thanos is a fucking household name.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't like now Thanos snapping his fingers is a like worldwide meme.
It's known. Well, it's known. It's in pop culture.
Totally.
So maybe this is the missing ingredient that they don't have to copy Marvel, but they can if they invest in Gunn and invest in his creative ability.
Right.
This is what my guess is. That's why they were so excited, and so desperate to get him on. And I have a feeling what we're going to want to watch out for now. If he writes it and then doesn't direct, that's going to be a sign to me that the execs are a little hands-on. that they're gonna want to put him in a box, and he's gonna. I don't think he doesn't need this. Even him getting fired by Disney, he's getting a huge payday for it because he's being.
I'm sure if he has any kind of percentage of what Guardians makes, any kind of points on those movies,
he can retire.
He's set for
if he
life.
wants.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's what I was going to point out about.
Yeah.
Let's say he does get an, let's say whatever this is doesn't do well. To me, that's an indication of, oh, y'all are just over-managing everybody. Because I think the move for Warner Brothers is let him do what he wants because he's proven himself.
And you would think that they would just look back at their history, especially in the DC universe. Christopher Nolan, that's exactly what they did for him, and that's why those movies, are still known and loved. And even Dark Knight Rises, which isn't anybody's favorite, I don't think.
But
it's still a singular vision, and I think that's if they were smart, that's where they would be going. They've been kind of struggling to find their line, and if Gunn could very well be the the compass point, the compass needle pointing in the right direction.
Definitely would be cool, and it would be cool to see the DC, like you said, I don't think they're going to catch up to Marvel, but to see that universe kind of have a rebirth and become a little more relevant than it has been, because I think those characters to me are just iconic. I mean, even compared to Marvel, I think over all time, I mean, your Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, just those three right there are just massive. So it would be cool to see it, have some fresh, life breathed into it.
Yeah, no, and if somebody's gonna do it, it might be Gunn.
Right.
I mean, at the very least, it might signal a change of tactics for Warner's. And if that's the case, and if he does direct, I see it as nothing but good things. I don't know how DC fans are going to see it because they seem to like their heroes deconstructed more than they like seeing the pure version of them. And he, that's Gunn's strength is his emotional connection. I mean, that's you love the Guardians. It's like even his goofy movies or his horror movies. If his script for Dawn of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder, strangely enough, it's like his script for Dawn of the Dead is full of like emotional gut punches, and Scooby-Doo maybe not so much, but
just right here.
Yeah, but I mean even Slither, like it's all based in emotion, and like that's only his empathy is his strength as a filmmaker, and that's where I think, especially playing with a group of anti-heroes, that can be really strong. So,
and I would also think James Gunn probably has a little chip on his shoulder, a little maybe something to prove, or wants to say, look, you know what? I can do this with any, with any group of characters.
Could be. I mean, he's got something to prove. And,
absolutely.
And Warner's has got, would love to kind of stick it to Disney if they can. And
they definitely would need each other, right? Not that James Gunn but Warner Brothers definitely needs him.
It's a fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we will see what happens. Definitely interesting, to think about, and we'll see what happens. Do you have any idea when this might, come? I mean, about these kind of schedules. I mean, 2020, we might be looking at something.
I mean, if he's going to be, I believe he's starting writing now.
Okay.
Warner's is they're going to finish up Wonder Woman 84.
Okay.
They're releasing Aquaman.
We've got a few years.
Birds of Prey will be the next one up for them. So I think and they're developing a ton of others.
Right.
If I were them, I'd be fast tracking this one. So,
right.
So it'd pretty much be down to when Gunn finishes the script.
Yeah.
I would guess at the earliest it'll go into production next summer, which would be a 2020 release. That's a complete guess. Who knows how long it takes to write this stuff, and if there's any clashings with studio execs and any of that could delay it. Actor schedules could delay it. Any of that stuff can come in. But I would say if they are rushing through it, not rushing where they're going to make mistakes and stuff, but if they're wanting to make this a priority and they're putting all their resources towards it, 2020 is a good estimate. Yeah.
What do you guys think? James Gunn and Suicide Squad 2, is that a good match? Could something magical happen right there? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. And keep it right here to The Know. Obviously, theknow.tv is where you want to be. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Yeah.
That was nice. I like that.
But go to the website, know.tv. We got a lot of stuff there too. All right, bye.